Hey up everybody, and welcome to this week's video. This week you see me cruising from Hurleston to Grindley Brook in search of somewhere to empty my toilet. And I'm also cruising with my good friends Gareth and Lou from Cruising Crafts. So I do hope you enjoy. So I had a fantastic night's sleep last night listening to the cows mooing in the fields. And we're off today. I'm cruising with some friends of mine, Gareth and Lou. And they're also traders, so they sell things for the narrowboat. It's always good fun when you meet friends on the canals and you decide to travel together for a bit. We've also got Jackie on board.
Hi! Sneaking up on me.
Yeah, she always says, Heidi, don't point that camera at me. But I think she's getting more used to it now. So I was told when I started YouTubing some advice. I was given some advice and they said make sure you only film on nice sunny days because you get the light right apparently for cameras and things like that. Now I've no idea, I am new to it all and I've no idea about all the camera lights and stuff, but I thought I would film when I am just randomly cruising, even if it's hammering it down, because you get to see the real idea of boat life, and it isn't always sunshine. Sometimes it's freezing cold and you do get soaked through. So that's what I'm doing. It's always good fun when you're cruising with friends. We just got Gareth up the lock and then Lou stayed behind and helped me and Jackie up the lock. It just makes things go a little bit quicker and it's a bit more fun because you can have a right good laugh as well whilst you're doing it. So because we are cruising with Gareth and Lou, they're doing the lock first and Jackie's up there helping them, and then I'll wait here, and once the lock's been emptied, probably a boat coming down, then I'll go up. So whilst I'm waiting at the locks, I thought I'd check out the Nicholson's guide, which shows you all the locks and swing bridges on our trip now to Grindley Brook. And apparently there are 15 locks and 3 movable bridges. So this is going to be a fun journey. I put my GoPro on the front of the boat for this shot, just to give you an idea of what it's like going into a lock, because they are quite narrow. And they're normally always leaking like this, so before they've even opened a paddle, you get loads of water coming in. But this one wasn't so bad. So that's a big crack, isn't it? It'll be long till that comes down, I reckon. Well, it's probably been like that for 375 years. But it's the biggest crack I've seen. I'm going to make Jackie drive the boat now. You up for driving the boat?
If I have to.
So
I hate driving this boat.
She does, she hates driving this boat because of the controls and everything, but she's going to drive the boat and I'm going to go and do the lock. So when I got to the locks, there was a boat coming down. So I helped this boat down, and then at least then the water was at the right level and the gates were open ready for Jackie to come straight in. As you can see, these paddles were quite tough and we were both struggling. That's Lou from Cruising Crafts on the other side, and she was helping us all out, absolute star. Get some muscles after this. I'll fast forward it here whilst we have a little bit of a chinwag. This is a good thing about doing the locks, you get a chance to catch up on all the local gossip.
Are you going to be on the telly?
No. I absolutely love meeting all the hire boaters. They're on holiday and they bring loads of fun and energy to the waterways. It's great to see. So that boat's just exiting the lock and then Jackie's going to be coming in. She's quite nervous, Jackie, because she never really drives the boat because she hates it. But it'd be good if she could drive the boat more, and then I can do the locks more, because normally when she's not around I do all the locks on my own and I don't get any exercise when she's on board. It'd be good to swap in between to give us both a break. Jackie hates driving this boat. She used to drive my old boat because it had a Morse controller, but with this one, because I've got the traditional controls like the speed wheel and the gear thing, she absolutely she hates it. It's because with my boat I have to go, first of all I have to put it into forward, then turn the speed wheel, and then suddenly if I need to slam on, I've got to turn the speed wheel down first, then put it into neutral, then put it into reverse, then put it back at the speed wheel back up, and by that time, you know, something could have happened. So it's because it's not as responsive as a normal Morse, it's not as quick, so you have to think way ahead. But she just did a fantastic job, absolutely fantastic job. So I've been quite lucky because the weather forecast today said it was 80% chance of rain, and it's not rained yet, so I feel quite lucky. I feel like the gods have been looking down upon us today. See, it's great having Jackie on board. It's only coffee. It's still morning. I have a rule. If it's before 10 o'clock, no.
Cheers.
It is only coffee, I promise. Did you enjoy driving the boat, Jack?
No.
Why?
It's dull and boring. You've got to wait around, wait at the locks, wait till everyone's done the thing. Then you get sort of 30 seconds of excitement as you drive into the lock, and then that's it. Then you wait until you come out again, and then another 30 seconds of excitement to drive out.
So there you have it. The thing is, on a boat, if there's a couple of you, you have your preferred jobs to do. And it's not this man driving, woman does lock thing. It's what people prefer to do most of the time. So for example, Jackie loves doing the locks, and I have no choice. But generally, we have a lot of friends that, you know, the man does the driving, the woman does the locks, and that's because they prefer it. Because the thing is, at the locks, you get a chance to have a bit of a chinwag and a chat and a bit of socialising. And, you know, sometimes, well, the locks are quite frightening to drive into, you know, and I think it's just, it's not a woman thing, or it's just, I love doing the locks. I'd prefer to do the locks, so I like to have a chinwag. You like doing the locks, don't you? But somebody has to drive the boat. And Jackie's not on board all the time, so I have no choice. I do have to drive the boat. Where's that wind come from? She says, almost crashing into a tree. So this is the road bridge in Wrenbury, and cars actually go over this bridge, so Jackie has to stop the traffic, put the barriers down and open the bridge to let me through. We actually love doing this, it's loads of fun, but I think some of the cars get a little peed off with it. Wrenbury also has a few really good pubs. The Dusty Miller on the left here is one of them. It's fantastic, we've been in there quite a few times. So if you are enjoying these videos, if you could give them a subscribe, it really helps the channel. It's absolutely free to do, but it helps our rankings in YouTube. It helps the video get seen in more places. So that'd be great, because we're trying to do it for girl power, aren't we, Jax? Woo! Come on, girls, we can do this. We haven't got pudding on the roof today because the weather forecast said it was 80% chance of rain, and he hates the rain, absolutely hates it. He won't even walk on the grass if it's raining. Well, he does, but he hates it. He's like, oh. He doesn't like it, bless him. But it's still not rained yet, and it looks like it's a bit of a blue sky where we're going now, so I think we seem to have missed it. is one of the things about boating. We did want to stay, after we came up the locks of the day at Hurleston, we did want to stay for a few days because, you know, and chill out and get on top of boat jobs. But we were unable to empty our cassette because the services were closed, the Elsan was shut. And it's meant now that we've had to cruise, we have to keep going just because of our toilet. So yes, when people say, oh, I love the narrowboats, you know, chilling out and that, it is, but then we do have to move to get water, to empty our bins and empty our toilets. So yeah, things never go to plan, ever. So plan was, we get up top of Hurleston, chill out, empty the toilet, but we've had to keep going. And so far today I've done an 8-hour day and I'm not at the service point yet. As the locks on this stretch aren't that far apart, Jackie walked on ahead to set the next lock. I stayed behind and did my own paddles and got the boat up through the lock safely. The trick is just to take your time, do the paddles slowly and keep an eye on the front of your boat. This huge gush of water here is called a Bywash, and it was so fierce. It was like pushing the boat from the left side but also going underneath the boat, hitting the bank and pushing it from the right side. So it was a right palaver, and I was trying to navigate with some force trying to get it into the lock, but I ended up bashing the side a little bit. But there was nothing I could have done in that situation. So I'm at Grindley Brook staircase lock and there's a boat coming down. This is not like the Bunbury one because we can't put 2 boats in or 3 boats in. This is just, I think 1 boat goes up every time, but there's lockies on, lock keepers, Canal River Trust volunteers who do a fantastic job to see that we all get through safely. Okay, so just a reminder of how a staircase lock works is you go into one lock which takes you straight into another lock and then straight into another lock. So it's you're not going into pounds in between, you're going from one lock to the other. So I'll just fast forward it again so you get the idea. And the best thing about this staircase lock is at the top is a working service point so we can get rid of our rubbish, empty the cassette, way, and also get some water. So that's the fantastic highlight of today. So after emptying the toilet, topping up with water and emptying the bins, this was our mooring for tonight. And as you can see, we've got some lovely neighbours. Let me show you. A nice pair of bullocks. So we've made it to Grindley Brook, so we're going to trade here the weekend. The brilliant thing is my mum and dad have phoned to see where we are, and they're driving over and they're going to meet us in the nearest pub, which is the Horse and Jockey. So Jackie's very happy, aren't you, Jackie? Pub! She loves it in the pub. Woohoo! Anyway, I met up the mum and dad, bless them, and we had dinner and a catch up. It was so lovely to see them. And then as we walked back to the boat, all the boats were set out having a little bit of a towpath gathering, so we joined in on that and cracked open the rum. Big thank you, Nick and Polly, for the rum. We're absolutely loving it, aren't we, Gareth?
Certainly are. Hey!
Hey up, guys, I'm just going to do this quickly because the rum's come out, so I just want to make sure that I give these big shout outs to Joy and David, Jay, Mark Collins, Stuart and Carol, Ralph Wood, and the lovely Liz, and her grandson Andrew, who bought me a coffee all the way from Gates in the US this week. So thank you so much, guys. It really does help support the channel. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye.